Hi, I'm Alex Valadka, AANS President, and I'd like to encourage you to attend our annual meeting in New Orleans from April 28th to May 2nd. The theme of this year's meeting is the privilege of service. We have an outstanding lineup of scientific presentations, speakers, and of course a wonderful venue, the City of New Orleans. We look forward to seeing you all there. The theme of this year's meeting is the privilege of service. All of us who are delivering care to our patients recognize the increasing constraints on our time. We're seeing more and more patients as reimbursements drop, as regulations increase, as many of us now work for larger entities and hospitals that have a lot less flexibility in the way they schedule our time. And in all this crazy hustle and bustle, it's very easy to forget why we got into this job in the first place. And unfortunately, we all know some of our colleagues who have wound up on the front pages of newspapers for things that are an embarrassment to all of us. That's why in the midst of all this, it's important for us to take a step back and recognize that despite all these hassles and things that sometimes make it seem like we're running from one patient to another, we really are incredibly privileged to be doing the job that we do, especially in this country that gives us so many opportunities. This theme is going to echo in the opening of the meeting on the Sunday afternoon opening ceremonies and run all the way through until our final session on Wednesday morning. The opening ceremonies are going to feature key leaders who helped New Orleans rebound after Katrina. And a few days before Katrina happened, these were just average folks living their lives, but they were thrown into a situation where they had to step up and help their fellow citizens, and they did so in tremendous ways. We have Tommy Svetanovich from Drago's Restaurant, who was instrumental in helping bring food, which is one of the most basic things people need after a crisis. We have General Russell Honore, who helped take charge and organize the city and not only help rebuild and help people find homes, but all the tremendous relief efforts that are going on for such a long time. We have Dr. Ben du Bois-Blanc, and perhaps we can sympathize and relate to his situation since we're all physicians, but what would you do if you suddenly had dozens of ICU patients to care for with no power, with no electricity, and no staff coming in a few hours to relieve the ones who are already exhausted? He's a very interesting speaker, and I think many of us can relate to what he's going to do. In terms of a venue, you can never do better than New Orleans to host our annual meeting. And New Orleans is always a great place for food and jazz and fun, but a few things make the 2018 annual meeting an especially great time to visit this city. First, 2018 is the 300th anniversary of New Orleans as a city. The entire year will feature tricentennial celebrations that you don't want to miss. And for jazz lovers, please try to get down to New Orleans either the weekend before the meeting or plan on staying for the weekend after, because you'll be right there for Jazz Fest. You can't beat the combination of great jazz music and a great scientific presentation at the AANS meeting.